Hi guys, welcome if you're new here and welcome back if you've been here for a while. I'm so excited for all of you guys to be here. I film life just as it is, like my chaotic mornings, my slow mornings, my weekend to wander, my travel, and my skincare and makeup obsessions. I work as a pharmacist, I'm a mom, I'm Indian, and which I'm very proud of. I'm an Indian American. I was born and raised in America, but I am, my ethnicity is Indian, and I love to show parts of my culture here as well. I started to document my life after I had my baby in 2024, and I just needed a place to let my feelings out, wanted to document the little days and make sure that I capture everything so in the future I can go back and look at it. So now that's turned into something that I love to do on the side. I'm not quitting my full-time job currently, but I would love to one day. So stick along with me and stay here for the ride. On this channel, I do a mix of things. I do days in my life, I do travel content, I do mom content, I try to post some recipes that I'm liking, I try to post about the realities of motherhood and working full-time job, especially in healthcare. And yeah, so now I'm gonna get ready and I'm just gonna talk a little bit about me. I got a list of questions that I put up on my Instagram page, and I wanted to go through those while I get ready. Right now I have nothing on my skin except this Benefit lip tint, and it is in Coco Cabana. If you've been watching my vlog, you know I love this one. I also have eye cream that I switch in between with Kiehl's and Coco Kind. I think today I have Coco Kind, and my moisturizer is of course Coco Kind because I love it so much. And then I have on sunscreen from, what sunscreen? I'm using Dot and Key today, which is one from India, which I really like. But I also like the La Roche-Posay one, and then the Beauty of Joseon Aqua Gel sunscreen as well. And before all of that, I forgot, but I have the Bioma toner, and I like that one along with the Rhode Glazing Milk. But today I have the Bioma one on. Okay, so one of the questions is, where am I from? So I will say that I was born and raised in Wilkes County, North Carolina. Not sure if anybody has heard of that place, but it is this small little town in North Carolina in the mountains. And yeah, I was born and raised there. So I am born and brought up in North Carolina, proud of being from North Carolina, was probably the only diversity at my school and my cousins. But yeah, so yeah, I have moved to the RTP area of North Carolina, and that's where I work. I just put on some primer from One Size. But anyway, growing up in North Carolina, one of the biggest questions I get from all my friends, especially from people who have moved here from up north, are asking about if I faced racism a lot. And I feel like there was some subtle racism, but I've never, like, how they show it in the movies, like, thankfully, and knock on wood, honestly, I haven't really faced that type of racism that I have seen. Like, maybe some subtle racism, but nothing that I have noticed or something that stood out to me, not like something specific at school, somebody making fun of my food or culture. Maybe it happened behind my back, but I don't remember anything like that. Okay, so I just did my brows with the NYX glue, which is my fave, and I put on a One Size primer. But next, I'm gonna do some color corrector with Huda Beauty, and then I have 3 concealers that I like, but I might do the Airbrush Concealer, L'Oreal Infallible, or the Maybelline. I don't know which one I'm going to use today, but I'm going to color correct with the Huda Beauty in Peach first. The next question I got is what I do for work, which I think from my channel you can tell, but I do work as a pharmacist. I work in corporate pharmacy right now. I really do like my job. I've worked retail, I've worked clinically, and I do work clinically also, as well. So I work clinically a little bit just to keep my clinical knowledge up, and I'm also working in corporate pharmacy. I will say that the clinical pharmacy gives me more satisfaction, and that's kind of why I went to school. But in clinical pharmacy, like I didn't feel like I had the best work-life balance, especially with my toddler. So that's why I kind of switched to more of like a corporate job. But back to what we were talking about. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I've also worked retail, and if anybody is a pharmacist or has ever worked retail, you know what that entails. That was not what I liked at all. So that was just a starting point for me. I worked there all through pharmacy school as an intern. Actually, I even worked in retail a little bit before I started pharmacy school just to get my foot in the door. But yeah, I worked retail, was not my favorite at all. And yeah, I switched very quickly whenever I wasn't able to take off for my wedding during COVID. So I worked retail as a pharmacist only for a year, but I worked in retail for about 5 years throughout, like as an intern and as a pharmacist. So yeah, I've been working for quite a while. Like I started working my freshman year of college. And I know some people start working like while they're in high school too. So I've been working for quite some time, and I just like having the independence of having my own money. And I think it teaches responsibility and discipline. So I did work throughout college and pharmacy. What are 3 words that I would use to describe myself? I feel like this is like more of an interview. If I'm thinking, like I have not even looked at these questions before, so I'm gonna have to think about that. But if I had to just think off the top of my head, I would say that I don't know, I feel like I'm dependable. I'm a good listener, and I can be spontaneous. Like, I like the thrill, I would say. I feel like we are born on this earth to do things in life and to learn and to be spontaneous. So that is something that I try to do. I try to keep learning. I try not to just be stuck in my ways. That's something that I pride myself in, actually, because I don't really like being stuck or feeling stuck in anything. If it's a job, if it's like in life, if I feel like I'm not learning, like I feel like that's whenever I'm like, okay, time to move, time to learn. That's just something about me that I like to do. And even YouTube, I was like, okay, this is something I haven't done before. Let's try it. And that's where YouTube started for me. So I just feel like for me, taking the risk and trying something new is all about, like, that's what life is all about. So that's a little bit about me. So I kind of divided up the questions in things about me, things about motherhood, and then things about family. So the next question I have is actually more leaning towards family, but I am born and raised, my parents are both from Gujarat, and so I'm Gujarati, obviously. I grew up speaking Gujarati. My grandma lived with us for a lot of her life, like a lot of her time was spent in our house growing up. So I learned to speak Gujarati because she didn't know how to speak anything else. So I speak Gujarati a lot. I know Gujarati. And then whenever I went to college, I actually took Hindi because I'm obsessed with Bollywood. If you guys don't know Bollywood, like, I don't even know what you guys would like gain from my channel, because Bollywood is everything. Like, I love Bollywood. And don't come at me when I say Shah Rukh Khan is my favorite actor. Like, he can do no wrong. He's the best out there. He knows what romance is, and maybe ruin romance for me forever. But he's the best. Anyway, so yes, I am Gujarati. I know Hindi. I took Hindi in college, so I actually learned script too. So I know how to read and write in Hindi, and then in Gujarati, I've learned the letters that are different. So it takes me a little bit longer, but I can also read Gujarati as well. And growing up, my grandpa actually, on my mom's side, whenever we would go visit him, he would actually have us try to learn Gujarati and read from the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, which is a religious text. So I actually know how to read and write Gujarati too. It just takes me a little bit longer. And Hindi too, like I've been out of practice and I want to get better at it. But in college, I was really good. Like we had to write 10-page essays in Hindi. So I used to be pretty good at Hindi, not gonna lie. And Bollywood movies did help me growing up. Like that's where I actually learned Hindi. So yeah, If Bollywood didn't teach me anything else, it did teach me Hindi. Now, another language that is spoken a lot in my house and around my daughter is Tulu. A lot of people don't even know what Tulu is, like me. I didn't know what Tulu was. I didn't even know that was a language. I knew Telugu, which is a South Indian language, but I had no idea what Tulu was. Also, let me pause right there because I'm using the Say, what are these called? Illuminator. I'm using the Say Illuminator, and what I like to do is I just put on a little bit of the Merit stick, which I use kind of like foundation, and then I'm gonna like top off with the Say Illuminator and put like just a dot of the Hourglass skin tint, because I think it has, does it have SPF? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna be outside today, so I wanted a little bit more coverage and some glow. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Tulu is actually a dialect, and it is spoken in the state of Karnataka, and more so in the coastal region of Karnataka, and people please correct me if I'm wrong, but that is what my husband speaks. He actually speaks and understands a lot of languages, if I'm not lying. Like, he knows so many languages. He understands Gujarati from where he grew up. Like, he was born and raised in Mumbai, but he came here for his master's, so he's been here for a while now. But he speaks Tulu at home, and that is something different. It is a dialect, but I feel like it's like Gujarati. Like, people who are Gujarati can understand Hindi, but people who speak Hindi have a hard time understanding Gujarati. Same with Tulu and Kannada. I feel like people who know Tulu can understand Kannada, even though they're completely different, but people who speak Kannada cannot understand Tulu. That's what I've gained. I don't know anything, and my goal is to learn some Tulu because it is derived differently. It is completely different. Like, I have started to understand a little bit here and there from context clues whenever my husband is talking to like his mom, but I don't know. So Amma, or like Sagar's mom, my husband's name is Sagar, by the way, and Amma is going to be coming here later this year, and my goal is for her to like teach me at least some words that I can speak to my daughter, because I want her to know like all the languages. Like, I want her to know at least Gujarati. She knows a lot because my parents live here in America, and so they see her often. My grandparents live close to us, so like everybody speaks to her in Gujarati, and I do too. Tulu, not so much, because the only person that knows how to speak Tulu is my husband. And I don't know, and there's not a lot of family. Like, his brother lives here, but usually we're like speaking to him in Hindi so I can understand too. So yeah, I want to learn, and I want my daughter to learn, because I feel like now is the age where they can learn. Like, my daughter, I call her Coco, and she's like, what, 22 months old now, and I feel like if not now, like, it's going to be really hard for her to learn in the future. So I really, really, really want to learn. Like, I feel like growing up, I didn't even think about the blessing that I had of learning 2 languages growing up. What would you guys think if I started a series that's called Tulu and Gujju? Like, no one steal my idea, because that's mine. But I am doing Tulu and Gujju, and I want to like do that with my mother-in-law. Like, when she gets here, I want her to teach me things, although she does not like being in front of the camera. I'm gonna see if she'll like help me and teach me things, and I'll take you guys along with me. And if you guys know Tulu, like, don't make fun of me, okay? Like, please don't make fun of me. I'm trying. Also, if you guys know how to contour, I've still not watched any contouring videos, so this is just like my very bad attempt to like either contour my face a little bit to look a little bit more chiseled. But anyway, so yeah, so those are the languages that are spoken in my house, like Hindi, Gujarati, Tulu, English. So my daughter is either gonna know all of them or is gonna know a little bit of all of them. So we'll see how that goes, but that's where we're at, and that's a little bit about my family. I have an older sister who is literally my hype queen, and she's married, and I get along with my brother-in-law very well, and he's so funny. Like, he's the funny one. He's the one who will give you the right advice right when you need it. And she has 2 sons. Unfortunately, they live like 5 hours away from us, which stinks, about 4.5 hours. But it inevitably always ends up being like 5 hours whenever we try to go there in Virginia. And then I have a younger brother who lives in New York, and he is my voice of reason. Not reason. He's the one who'll like tell it to me straight. He won't sugarcoat it. Like my sister will be my hype queen. She'll like always be there for me. She will always root for me. She will never back down, always think that I'm right. Like she'll always take my side. But my brother, he'll be brutally honest. Like whenever I mess up or if he thinks I didn't do something right, he'll be the first one to call me out. And I need that sometimes in my life. So I appreciate that. So thank you, Parth. But anyway, yeah, so that's a little bit about my family. And what else? The best thing about being a mom. Literally everything. Like everything. Like sometimes I get tired because I feel like I'm the only one that can calm my daughter down. But also that's like the best thing in the world. That feeling, everything about motherhood is good. Is great. It's the best feeling ever. But I will say it is hard. It's not easy. It's not what I thought it was going to be. It's great. It's like, this is what I tell everybody. Like, it's the best blessing on this entire planet Earth. I think, like, there's nothing better than it. But it's also the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Like, in my entire life. But yeah, she's great. And I'm able to do, I think, all these things. And people always ask me, like, how am I able to, like, do my job and do content creation, which I'm just starting, honestly. Like, I'm not that big yet. But, it's because I have help. Like, I have my family. I have a support system. She goes to daycare. And she's just all in all a great child. And my support system starts with my husband. Like, he has been so encouraging for me to, like, do what makes me happy and try things and venture out. Like, he may not be in my vlogs or be, like, the top runner or, like, want to be in my vlogs or, like, be on camera, but he always supports everything that I do, and that helps me so much because if I don't have the support, I don't know how I'd be able to do that. Like, for instance, he helped me set up the camera today. Like, he was like, here, why don't you sit here so your lighting is good, and let me set this up for you. And then when I want to take pictures, he's the one who's always taking the photos for me. So shout out to him for helping me, otherwise I would never be able to do this. And yes, I am using a Rare Beauty blush to do my eyeshadow because I don't know where my eyeshadow palette is. And I want to keep it as natural as possible. But anyway, what else do you guys want to know about me? Let's see here. One piece of advice I'd give to new moms. Okay, one piece of advice I would give to new moms is to not watch what other people are doing on social media. I went down a rabbit hole. I was like, my child isn't hitting the milestones at this time. Like, I didn't do this baby-led weaning at this time. I didn't give her avocados at this time. Like, stop watching what other people do. Do what's best for you. It is so hard because in the beginning, I feel like I didn't know what I was doing. So I was always looking for help online to see what others are doing. But then in the midst of that, you just get stuck in a loop of like, trying to see what others are doing and then like comparing yourself to that. And every child is so different that like you just can't expect it. Like, for instance, my daughter and my sister's son are only 7 weeks apart, but they hit their milestones. Like, sometimes my daughter would be hitting a milestone before him, and then sometimes he would be way hitting a milestone way before like my daughter was. Like, just don't compare because they're so different. Like, even if they're so close in age, they were acted so different. So, yes, definitely do not compare. I hate comparison. I hate growing up. Like, if anybody here is, like, born and raised in an Indian family, you know what I'm talking about. Like, everything is about comparison, and I don't want that for my child. So, I just hate doing the comparison game from the beginning. So, I'm trying my best, even though she has a lot of cousins and actually she has a ton of cousins that are and friends that are around her same age. I try my best not to even like talk about milestones. Just like let kids be kids. Like, I know it's going to get even worse whenever they get older and they're in school or doing activities. Like, oh, did you put her in that? Like, how did she do on that? Or what did she get on that? Like, I just don't even want to start that right now with her. So trying my best. That's like my one rule as a mom is like, don't compare yourself or your child. So, trying to do that as best as I can. For content creation, dream brands to work with. and skincare wise, I'm like obsessed with Coco Kind and Bioma right now. But I'm like, I love so many brands. I'm like obsessed with skincare. I'm obsessed with makeup recently. Like if people know me from college, like they will know that my friends used to do my makeup because I didn't really care. Like whenever we went out, I'm like, somebody want to do my makeup because I don't really care about how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I never did my hair. I didn't really care about dressing up. I was just like kind of like a book nerd. Like I didn't really care, but now like after becoming a mom, I'm becoming more confident in my skin and I like doing all the girly things. So I feel like I've changed a little bit in that way. Like a motherhood has changed me to try to romanticize life a little bit. Oh my gosh, my dream vacation. I have wanted to go to Southeast Asia for so long. So if there's like any way I can do like a brand deal or something that takes me to Southeast Asia, I'm all for it. It's so hard now being a mom traveling, but if that's a dream, that's like my biggest dream is to do a trip in Southeast Asia. Like the problem is though, if I want to travel with my family, my husband hates going anywhere that's hot. Southeast Asia is always hot. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I can do a solo trip. That's what I'm thinking. But what is y'all's like dream vacation spot? Like, I don't know. I've always wanted to go to Southeast Asia. Like, every part of Southeast Asia. It's just so different. I love being like immersed in a different culture and learning things and trying to figure things out. Like, fun fact, when I was in pharmacy school, I did 2 exchange programs to South India, and people are like, oh, but you're from India. Yeah, but in South India, everything's so different. Everything's in a completely different language. It was so fun to like figure things out by myself and learn about a whole new different culture. So for sure, that is one thing I want to do in the future. So let's see where life takes me, but that is one thing like I hope and pray that happens for me. I'm using my Dior palette, sorry, just to do the inner corners of my eyes to open it up a little bit. And that's it. And then I'm going to use the pink to like go over my blush to highlight my blush area a little bit. Okay. And the last thing that is left are my eyes. So, my favorite thing ever is the Shiseido eyelash curler, which all eyelash curlers ever scared me. But like, look at the difference. Look at this eye and look at this eye. What else? What else can I tell you about me? One thing that has changed is that I've loved to actually explore areas around me. Like, that's something that I'm trying to do. Okay, so here's the thing about me. Whenever I like something, I'm like become obsessed with it. And then that's the only thing I want to do for like a really long time. For instance, like when I have a favorite restaurant, I want to order from that restaurant every week until I'm like sick of it. But the one thing I'm trying to do this year is to force myself to like try new places, do new things. So if you see me doing more reviews and going to new places and trying new things, it's because it's part of my, not resolution, but something that I'm trying to work on for myself is to try new things and branch out, whether that be new experiences, which I'm always down for new experiences, but when it comes for food, I don't know why. Like when I like something, like if I go to any Mexican restaurant, I will always just like do a vegetarian enchilada, like a vegetarian enchilada and quesadilla. Like I'm just so basic, or I'll just get the nachos. But I will never like try something new. So that's something that I'm working on about myself in general, is just like trying to work on branching out in terms of food. And I'm also doing that for my daughter. I think because of her, I'm like trying new recipes because I want her to have more protein. And so guys, the hype around protein is crazy, but that'll be a topic for another day. But that's something that I'm really trying to incorporate into my meals these days. I have been on a fitness journey, lost a certain amount of weight, which I'm very proud of. I'm trying to do more on my strength side. I want to become stronger, and so I'm working on that as well. So you'll see that in my future content as well. I'll take maybe one more question. A random talent that I have. This might be a little bit cringe, but I'm double jointed in all my fingers and my shoulders. So yeah, I can do that cringe thing where you can take like, yeah, I can take my hands and put it all the way back and bring it back front. But I don't want to show people because it's kind of awkward and people get freaked out by it. But I also am pretty flexible. Like I can do a split. And trust me, on my nights out, I have tried to do that many times. This is my full face of makeup that I've done. I'm done doing my makeup. If you guys want the links to anything or like have any questions about anything I put on, because I think I was mentioning products and then I forgot, so just put it down in the comments and I'll try to get to every single comment. If there's anything else that I left out that you want to know about me, like let me know. If there's any content that you want to see, please let me know. How did you get to my page? I would love to know. I try to do things towards motherhood. I try to make videos on my work, and then I try to make videos also on like what I do for fun. So let me know what you guys like the most, because I love also incorporating beauty and skincare in between in all those videos. Since I do a mix of things, I usually post like 1 to 2 videos a week, but if you want to see more or less of me, just let me know, and go follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok for like more daily stories and reels that I make. But I hope you guys like my channel, stay along for the journey, and let me know if there's anything specific that you want to see. Bye! Oh my gosh, one thing that I forgot to mention that is like literally my biggest hobby, like outside of all of this, is journaling. And I have a separate page on Instagram, so go check that out. But it's called bullet journaling, and I think my next video is going to be about that and all the spreads that I've made for this year so far. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye!